Hi, my name is Chris Lalamia, and I'm with the Home Service Institute, and I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this video. We think we've unlocked an incredible training program that will help your franchise partners make more money, keep customers, and keep happy employees. Through the training that we've developed, we think this will help them get to that certain level of success that they're all looking for. So with that, let's jump into it. We know that our franchise partners want to make more money. They want to be more profitable. They know that to do that, having good long tenured employees helps because they know the system. Happy employees mean happy customers. Raving fans mean they keep coming back and doing more repeatable business. As we all know, it costs about 5 times more to acquire a new client than it does to keep one. So we know good employees and great happy customers make us all more profitable. I was a business owner and still am, and I have a business here in Atlanta. And I used to get those calls saying, "Can I please talk to the owner?" And he would say, "Hey, your technician came out. He was a nice guy, but he didn't really finish the work. He didn't really clean up after himself. He didn't charge correctly. And frankly, Chris, he just wasn't like you." And I sat there scratching my head going, I can't figure out what's going on. Well, let's talk a little bit about the technicians that we all have, whether you're in the maid business, whether you're doing lawn care, or you're spraying for mosquitoes, and in my case, having a handyman. They all view themselves as skilled trades. They all have a skill set, they have a tool, and they have the time to complete something that a customer cannot. Whether they're an electrician or a plumber or a painter, they all feel as if they're skilled trades. So remember that. They also feel as a skilled trade that they're an artist, like a sculptor, a pianist, or a portrait painter. If they're skilled artists, they're also going to be more like a lone wolf. And in that lone wolf, you invite them into your wolf pack, but you know that you want your lone wolf to still be hungry, to problem solve, and to take care of those customers while they're out there in the field. So knowing that about your employees is critical when we talk about what we do for training. We also have another big variable, and that's our customers. You got Harry here, Irene, I don't know, Scott Skeptical, and my favorite, Felicia Fingers. We run into these customers a lot, and sometimes we have to make light of them so we can solve their problem and deliver that great customer experience we're looking for, because we want to turn them into raving fans, those 5-star fans that keep coming back to our business, spending money with us because they trust us and they know that our processes and our customer experience are far superior than everybody else. So why are customers hesitant or anxious to have you come to their house? So let's talk about that. In the acquisition process, they're worried about you're going to come in and maybe make a mess, or you're going to make a big mistake. You probably are going to try to overcharge them and run away and not complete the job the way you'd hope to. So that's what customers expect. With that variable of those customers, we have to watch out for what we're looking for. But our employees, let's go back to our skilled artists. What do they want? They just want to make money. It's quite simple. They want to be able to demonstrate what they can do, show their inner artist and demonstrate their skill sets, because if they have an easy transaction, they'll go home and they'll feel better about themselves and be ready to rock and roll for the next day. So remember, he was a nice guy, but they really weren't focused on the quality of the service. The questions and the comments I got a lot and still continue to get are more about the customer experience. All customers think we're going to give them service that looks like this: a mess, a leak, and making a big problem, but they really want to see what a 5-star service looks like. And if you can demonstrate that to them, they start to elevate their thought process on what you should be able to deliver. Why do customers choose home service companies? I've been fortunate enough to be part of many studies, and here's some interesting points that you need to know. And as a franchise system of the Happinest group, you know that you guys have an established reputation with your 3 brands. You know that you guarantee your work because you aren't going to run away from anything that goes wrong. And you just communicate with them. So that's why people pick to go with you over somebody else out there in the marketplace. What do customers expect when the technician arrives to their house? And what makes them most comfortable? Whether inside or outside of the house, this holds true. You call prior to arrival. You at least let them know you're coming. You also demonstrate your knowledge or your skill set, and you leave them with a better house condition than they were when you first got there. So give them a plan on what you're doing, especially if the customer's at the house. They want to know what you're up to. And lastly, they just want you to be neat and professional, because they are neat and professional. They expect to get that same level of service, because remember, they don't want that plumber that's going to make a big mess. They want that 5-star butler that shows up looking well, looking like he knows what he's doing and ready to rock and roll and get things done. We all have the same customer service path, and we're getting into the training now. So let's talk about this a little bit more. We all have to plan for the job. We have to start the job. We got to finish the job. And there's also going to be some changes in the middle of it. So we have 4 areas that we work on. Aristotle said it best: to do this and to be more repeatable and be more proactive, you should develop those habits within your teams to be able to knock out that customer service path and get a raving fan at the end of that completed job. So we do this with training. Now let's talk about the training. We feel at the Home Service Institute, we've been able to unlock a code. I told you about our skilled artists who feel like they're lone wolves. With our variables of customers working in people's houses, we know that there are 3 components of training. First, we want to train them around the customer experience. We want to help them with our company culture and let them know that they're part of a bigger wolf pack that will help them. We're going to give them the operational processes that help us repeat consistently what we want to do so that our customers know what to expect when we arrive, regardless of the technician or the team you send. But lastly, and most importantly, you've got to give them something technical about their world. In the technical part, this is where you tell them, this is how I'm going to make your job easier. Regardless of the industry you're in, this is critical. So we know at the Home Service Institute, we're going to help you with number 1, set the frameworks up for number 2 and 3, but it's up to you and your franchise system to develop number 2, which you've already done. And number 3, that's the industry. You just keep up with the industry trends and maybe talk about some of the new things that are out or new techniques that are available to them. If you don't do all 3, number 1 gets lost on them. But putting this process in place and continually reinforcing these habits is important. So let's go into that a little bit more. We've heard it all before, to train or not to train. I've been right there as well. You know what? I sat there and went, nah, my techs are going to hate this training. Nobody wants to come in here for an hour. My metrics are really pretty good, and I don't have the time to do this, man, because I need to go out there and sell, sell, sell. But remember, it takes 5 times more dollars and more effort to acquire a client than to keep a client. And this is all about client retention and employee retention. Let me tell you about a case study. This is me, the trusted toolbox. I started in 2008 and I had 2 trucks and I was in one of them. By the time I got to 2021, today we have 15 technicians. I have 4 customer service reps in the office, and we have our shingle out there and we do everything. About 5 years ago, I got intentional on training. So we were bigger then, and here's what we did. My reviews were at 4.1 on Google. They weren't the best, but they were good. After doing this training, and after just 2 short years, we got up to 4.6. When I first started the training and doing all 3 components, my retention was at about 7 months. Now it's at 24 months. It has been really good for us to be able to continually reinforce this training. Let's talk about another metric. My profitability has gone up as well because I added almost 10% to my top line by added work by our technicians. That's work when they showed up to the house that customers asked for in addition to what they've already agreed to. Now remember, our skilled artists and our lone wolves aren't used to selling their own work. They're letting their work stand for themselves. So this was a pretty big piece of our training. And I noticed that my tech utilization actually went up. So by taking them off the road for 2 hours a month, that's all I did, just 2 hours a month, I was able to get 4.6 rated, guys staying here longer, getting additional work, and getting my labor revenue up. Now, to get a training plan in place, why don't we do it? You need to make a commitment to your franchise partners and your franchise partners to their employees. This is something you have to be committed to. And I found that for a lot of people, it's a blind spot for a lot of owners. We would rather go out there and sell, 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 as opposed to doing the training. What I found for me, though, is that the training made my life a lot easier. And I'm not getting the "he was a nice guy" but calls anymore. I'm getting the 5-star ratings going out to Google. So at the Home Service Institute, here's how we can help. We play to your audience. Remember, I said there were 4 areas that we go into: plan, start, work, and complete. But what we'll do is we'll tell a story. We engage their brain. We get them thinking about being a skilled artist. Then we make the point. And lastly, we give your managers or your franchise owners comments so they can reinforce the points that those guys learn about the customer service piece. So remember, this is 1 of 3, but this is a critical piece and it's already been done for you. So let's talk about one of the modules, and we have it out on our website. You can go take a look at it. I used to tell my guys all the time, please call your customer, please call your customer. And they're like, I don't have to. As I showed you earlier in one of the things in the studies that we've seen before is that people just want that call 30 minutes ahead of the intended appointment time. So in this case, we talk about a module called Call the Ball. In this module, what we talk about is we tell them a story about how a jet lands on an aircraft carrier. That's pretty cool. Go out there and take a look at this website. I won't take you through the whole program, but it shows you that your team sets you up for success. And at some point, your technician has to call the ball and take responsibility for that customer. So when we tell this story and we tell them you got to call the ball, we tell them, you got this, go make this happen. And your tech will take care of business from that point going forward. So when you get up there, and again, you also have some learning objectives that your franchise owners can use as well, so they can get up there and kind of punch home those points that came out in that module. And then they can go on to numbers 2 and number 3 of the training with your processes and with your technical work. So we've taken care of the first third of your training for you with that. Now, how have we done this? Well, we come up with numbers of stories. We tell different stories to engage the brain and then tell them more about what we're doing in all 4 categories. Here are just the first 4 that you can take a look at. We talked about Call the Ball. The next one we talk about is the Canary, which is the path of Amelia Earhart and what she did. The Portraits of 2 Women, very interesting module as well. And lastly, chocolate chip cookies. Now, these are just 4 of many we've developed already. So what we'll do with you is we'll develop a path based on what your current pain points are for you to work through these and use these over the course of a year. We recommend that we do this twice a month. And if we do that, here's what we can do. So here's my offer for you. Mosquito Hunters, Eco Maze, Lawn Doctor, all of your franchises and your partners will help them improve their profit and get their customer loyalty up. I'll give you a dedicated coach to help implement the training, so that way you can take the time off of your franchise owners. We have stock modules that are available at very low cost, so the outlay of money is not going to be that difficult for somebody to do that, especially when it starts to pay back for itself easily within the first 6 months. We can also customize by brand if we need to. And again, not a lot of cost, but it could be more impactful for your franchise owners to use this training. We feel like this subscription-based model is a great way to get into training and to help you develop the discipline and the habits that we know will make you all successful. We hope we can work with you guys in the future, and we would love to hear from you. So you can either email Ed or myself, Chris, at hsi-cx.com. We're at the Home Service Institute, and we look forward to partnering with you. And if you want to go check out more, you can always go to the homeserviceinstitute.com. Thanks and have a great day.